Another interesting thing that Vim mode inset allows us to do is to jump to a particular place denoted by 2 characters. And to enable this functionality, we're going to add the following chunk of code in our keymap configuration file. In here we're specifying that the following 2 mappings will only be active in visual and normal modes of Vim. So now by pressing S, we can press another 2 characters to quickly jump to the place where those 2 characters are used. And here's how it works. Let's say I will have to quickly move my cursor to that place where C and O characters are used. One occurrence of those characters is the beginning of the const word in here. So I will press S and then C, O. As you can see, I have jumped to the place where those characters are used, but it's a different place where they are also used. So to keep jumping to places where C, O are used, I can basically repeat the previous motion by using semicolon. But in my case, just because I have remapped semicolon to be single quote, I'm gonna press single quote to keep jumping to places where CO characters are used. And in this way we can quickly jump to a particular place denoted by 2 characters by firstly pressing S followed by 2 characters, for example ES. And right away I have jumped to one of those places where those 2 characters are used. And I can keep cycling through all the occurrences by pressing single quote in my case. Or by default in Vim we can press semicolon. And to go to an opposite direction, instead of pressing S, we can press Shift S, followed by 2 characters. I will press RO and I have jumped to the beginning of the word roads. Alright, let's consider the next scenario. As we know in Vim, to jump to the beginning of the next word we can press W, and to jump to the beginning of the previous word we can press B. But if our words use camel case or snake case notations, by pressing W or B, we will be jumping over the whole world at once. Like for example in this case, I have this normalized page hash function which consists of 3 words. But if I would like to change this behavior and make it so that W and B keys will be jumping over those individual words, I can add the following code to my keymap configuration file. And from now on, whenever I'm going to press W to go to the beginning of the next word, B to go to the beginning of the previous word, E to go to the end of the next word, or GE to go to the end of the previous word, camel case as well as snake case notations will be respected. And instead of jumping over the whole camel cased or snake cased word, I will be jumping over its parts. Another thing is that in Vim mode, whenever we are reaching the end of the particular line or the beginning of the particular line, while navigating to the right or to the left, our cursor does not automatically go to next lines or previous lines. And if you prefer this behavior where the cursor will be moving to previous and next lines as it reaches the end or the beginning of the current line, you can add the following chunk of code in your keymap configuration file. In here, the first 2 mappings are responsible for navigating to the left and to the right by using left and right arrows. I'm not using those, so I will remove these 2 mappings and keep only H and L mappings. By default in Vim, to go left we're using H key and to go right we're using L key. And since I have those motion keys remapped to J to go left and semicolon to go right, I'm going to change these keys. And from now on, anytime when I'm gonna reach the end of the current line, my cursor will automatically go to the next lines. And the same will be the case when we're gonna reach the beginning of the current line and the cursor will go to previous lines. Alright, now let's talk about splits. In order to open up the file in a horizontal split, we can open up Command Palette by pressing Command Shift P. And in here, let's write split and pass to the file that we'd like to open in a horizontal split. As you can see, the new file has been opened in a horizontal split. And we can close the currently active split by pressing Command W by default. I have remapped this shortcut to be space W. Now to open up the file in the vertical split, we can use vsplit command in the command palette and specify the path to the file that we wish to open up. At the end, let's talk about project panel, which we can open up by pressing Command R shortcut. When we have Vim mode enabled, we can navigate through this list up and down by pressing J to go down or K to go up. Then to jump to the very beginning, we can press G. And to jump to the very end of this list, we can press Shift G. In order to create new directory, we can press D and specify the name for this directory. To rename the file or directory, we can firstly select it and press Shift R and specify the new name for this element. To remove any file or directory from this list, we have to select this element first and press Shift D. We will get such confirmation window first, and by confirming this action, the selected element will be removed. If we need to create new file, we can use %sign or Shift 5. The new file has been created and it has also been focused, but to shift focus back to the project panel, we can press Command Shift E. Now I'm going to remove this newly created file by firstly selecting it, pressing Shift D and confirming my action. We can also preview any file from this project panel by simply pressing P. And by doing that, the focus will not be shifted from the project panel. And that's about it. We have reviewed most of the features that Vim mode offers in that editor. As you can see, it offers a lot of additional features that the original Vim doesn't have without installing third-party plugins. The link to the repository with the keymap configuration file will be in the video description.